Our short national nightmare is paused. The nation is open for business, if not for people. But still, America held hostage by its infallible dear leader, starving the captives till the opposition party caves. Okay, only 42 million of them, plus people trying to fly somewhere, somehow. No food, no airplanes. On the bright side, no airline food. A court ruled that the Trump administration can claw back food aid based on precedent. The Great White Father starved Native Americans to get them to give up their lands. Trump says SNAP should only be for the down and out. In fact, it is. Furloughed federals. The grating debate continues in the Democratic Party, with progressives and centrists, arguing over whether or not to have health care, transgender rights, Palestinian freedom, non-billionaire politics, affordable cities, and a planet. Centrists say if far-left candidates, those who support having a society, are on the ballot, they will lose, and the nation will lose everything. Make a choice, Sophie.
It's not true. This rhetoric about civilians not aware, not involved, it's absolutely not true.
Israel continues to block aid from entering Gaza because it goes to Hamas or ISIS or people named Mohammed or something, which reminds us that people on all sides lie. Governments do. People do. Exhibit B. Nicaragua's dynastic duopoly proclaims liberation while extending its control of the internet to Chinese levels. Mass surveillance, censorship, a digital blockade echoing Reagan's economic one. Maybe Ortega's a Contra. Reread Animal Farm. Speaking of China, Exhibit C. The government's semi-official policy of ignoring domestic violence derives from its support of marriage and childbearing, leading one, or me, to question whether marriage and the state might be better off abolished. Ever mindful of distracting the proles, President Snake Oil is solving non-problems by bombing boats full of civilians. Asked about the legal basis for this, he explained,
I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead.
Breaking news. Trump told the truth. Mark your calendar. But President murder spree. What about the 14 million who are dying in USAID gate?
Okay, we're going to kill them.
This just in, a number of lives have been saved during the 6 decades of the dreaded USAID. The number stands at 92 million. However, the cost was exorbitant, topping out at a whopping $24 annually per taxpayer. Pope Donald I, comes just before America, is minting a coin with himself on the front and back. This is like totally legit, tards. It represents the destruction of elites via the blessing of monarchy. Get a clue. He ended 18 wars and saved dozens of American cities from their citizens. Many Americans are so tired of business as usual, they're ready to just let businesses do their usual rampage, as long as it's disguised as kidnapping of immigrants and shooting protesters. Meanwhile, DT Jr., geez, I got the DTs, looks set to profit bigly from a new fleet of killer drones being fabricated by a company with the unusual name of Unusual Machines. The science fiction scion and his kid bro hold $17 million in shares and sit on or near the board, which coincidentally has procured Pentagon contracts for the cute little killers. Working the system. Hasn't worked for me, but, you know, no hard feelings, just passion for overthrow. Speaking of, the Heritage Foundation, a shadow government embedded inside the one we're aware of. It is beholden only to its funders, who are determined to end democracy since it doesn't do their bidding. Their intent is to erase nonpartisan federal employees and replace them with reliable Sieg Heilers, known in semi-polite circles as loyal to Trump. It is a coup without tanks, but that's starting. Guess which country? A congresswoman indicted for trying to visit an immigration facility. A senator tackled and shackled for asking a question at a news conference. Mayors threatened with prosecution for failing to support masked armed gangs abducting people and sending them to foreign death camps. China? Hungary? Russia? Must be some all-black country. Many holes have been discovered in the Untax the Rich project, known to many of me as ERP. So the Trump administration is adding tax breaks for private equity, crypto, foreign real estate, America sold first, insurance, and multinationals generally. Working class first, anyone? Beneficiary Blackstone has declined comment, being the only branch of government not required to comment, or at least lie. Other beneficiaries include the federal debt and deficit, gaining trillions. Elder health care and hungry Americans won't fare so well. These unkind cuts, in addition to being implemented by the wrong government branch, are dubiously claimed to support American competitiveness. Competitiveness, a smokescreen word, meaning let the rich have the poor's stuff. Word is, the official government terror gang's leaders want to create special units to invade poor people's neighborhoods nationwide. Critics say prohibiting soldiers from doing policing is a centuries-old principle in America. But what's a century or two between a child dictator and his thug brigades? Besides, President Fix-It promised to solve crime in Chicago in a week, as he did with the Ukraine war. He also promises to build houses for all Americans in 4 days, in Uganda, and fix hurricanes in 24 hours, if he can locate his Ouija board and magic marker. Speaking of soldiers, we all know President Bonespurs doesn't like soldiers who get captured. Closer to home, it now appears he doesn't like the ones who, well, have no home. Losers. Sweep 'em up and out. From the foothills of fascism, this is Dave Lippman reporting.